Ladies, I am so excited to be gathering with you in just a short period of time, June 18th and June 19th at the 2021 Thrive Conference. Now, for those of you who I have yet to have the privilege of meeting, my name is Reverend Kelly Legg. I'm the senior pastor at the West Shore Baptist Church outside of Harrisburg, and I have the distinct honor of serving as this year's Thrive Conference speaker. Friends, I've been spending the last year becoming increasingly convinced that God ordained this year's theme specifically for this moment. And do you know what it is? We've reached the end of the Thrive acronym, the letter E, right? And E tells us that disciples of Jesus Christ are meant to have an external focus. And we're meant to look beyond ourselves, to have eyes like Jesus has. Eyes that saw the disciples and beyond them. Eyes that looked at the crowd of people who didn't know him. And when he looked at them, he didn't see a nuisance. He didn't see people who were fine. He saw those who he described as harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. Now, the truth is, human beings on our own, we don't sustain an external focus for any amount of time. Well, it's true for all of us as individuals. I mean, we started that way. No baby you've ever met had an external focus, right? They only care about what's happening in their little world. And sadly, many of us, we're just tall babies. Certainly that's true in our local churches. But if you're honest, you did an inventory, an analysis of all of the ministries and the programs, for that matter, the dollars at your local church, you'll find that almost all of the programs, almost all of the ministries, and a lot of the dollars are internally directed. They're not externally focused towards the people who don't yet know Jesus, but literally are in our neighborhoods. Friends, what we get to do together at the conference this year is take a long, hard look at some of that reality and then invite the Lord to shift our focus. This year, we're going to invite him to give us an external focus as individuals, in our churches, and all across the region. Now, to be part of what God's going to do, we need you to do a couple of things. One, if you haven't already done so, feel free to hit pause on this video, jump over to the AbcoPad website, and register for the event. By registering, you guarantee that you'll get a Zoom link and you get the materials that are needed in a timely fashion. So that's the first thing. Go register. But once you've registered, do the second thing. Start thinking about the group of women that you want to gather with to engage in this conversation. Now, I wish we could all be together in AbcoPad, but we can't. But I bet we can be with a small group of people in our churches or our living rooms. The women in my own congregation are planning to gather in our multi-purpose room. They're going to set up tables, bring their own food, and we'll show the Zoom on a large screen so everybody can see it. And when everyone on Zoom goes into breakout sessions, the ladies in our church will simply have a small group conversation right there in person. I'm willing to bet your church facility could accommodate something very similar, and if not, your living room probably can. See, you're going to have a deeper, sweeter conversation with Jesus if you engage this with someone else. And you will see far more traction at your church, the conversation going further and bringing greater transformation if there's a group of you praying, talking, and following the Lord externally together. Register, gather a group of ladies, and here's the third thing. Pray. Start praying right now. Pray that the Spirit of God would move in your life and in our lives, in our churches and in our region, that increasingly we would thrive because we have an external focus.